Nice. Oh, something in this van. Bus, whatever. No. Hello.
Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Lucky you near the Great Green Jewel.
Okay.
Settlements of sanctuary
Ow.
has, I guess, been founded.
I'm standing out in the open here for crying out loud.
I got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my job.
Ooh, just doing your job. Protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it? Oh, look, it's the scary reporter.
I'm sorry, but Mayor McDonough's really steamed, Piper. Saying that article you wrote was all lies. The whole city's in a tizzy.
Ugh. You open this gate right now, Danny Sullivan. I live here. You can't just lock me out. Open this gate right now! You want into Diamond City, right?
What? Who are you?
Shh. Play along. What's that? You said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, all right. Need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before old Danny catches on to the bluff.
This place, Diamond City. What is it?
Oh, the Green Jewel? She's a sight. Everyone who's anyone in the Commonwealth is from here, settled here, got kicked out of here. A big wall, some power, working plumbing, schools, and some security goons are what make Diamond City the big monster it is. Oh, love it or hate it. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Let's go.
Fix some settings here.
Piper, who let you back inside? I told Sullivan to keep that gate shut. You devious, rabble-rousing slanderer. The level of dishonesty in that paper of yours. I'll have that printer
Is that a
scrapped for
statement, Mr.
parts.
McDonough? Tyrant mayor shuts down the press. Why don't we ask the newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatening to throw free speech in the dumpster.
What newspaper are you talking about?
Mine. Public occurrences. And we're the hard look at the truth. So are you with us or not?
This really isn't any of my business.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, good sir. No, no. You look like Diamond City material. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. Spend your money, settle down. Don't let this muckraker here tell you otherwise, all right?
What are you two arguing about, anyway?
What do you think? Print lies and everybody's happy, but if you print the truth...
Now, was there anything particular you came to our city for?
I'm trying to find someone.
Trying to find someone? Who?
My son, Sean. He's less than a year old.
Wait, your son's missing? Oh, you hear that, McDonough? What's Diamond City Security doing to help this man, huh? This isn't the first missing persons report to come through here, and now we have an infant who's been taken?
Don't listen to her. Well, I'm afraid that our security team can't follow every case that comes through. I'm confident that you can find help here. Diamond City has every conceivable service known to man. One of our great citizens can surely find the time to help you.
Well, sure. And a mayor of a great city must know everyone. Who can help me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time for any more questions.
Crap.
I'm a busy man. Enjoy your stay in our fair city.
This is ridiculous. Diamond City Security can't spare one officer to help? I want the truth, McDonough. What's the real reason security never investigates
I've had enough of this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. A big Diamond City welcome from the mayor. You feel honored yet? Look, I gotta go get settled in, but, stop by my office later. I have an idea for an article you'd be perfect for.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Officer?
Head on inside.
Hello, kitty. Dog meat, stop glitching on the railing.
Favorite puts on quite a show, huh?
What do you mean by that?
Well, folks are already plenty scared of the Institute, but that doesn't stop the paper from talking about them every chance they get. Anyway, don't let it get to you. Life here is still a hell of a lot safer than out there in the Commonwealth.
What's the Institute?
Ever heard of the boogeyman? Shadowy monster that takes people in the night? Well, that's the Institute. But they're just a fact of life around here. Someone gets taken by the Institute or gets killed by a raider. Which is worse? At least inside these walls, you don't have to worry about the raider. So what brings you to the Great Green Jewel?
Looking for someone who's gone missing.
Gone missing? Who is it? Friend? Relative?
My son was kidnapped. His name is Sean.
Your boy's gone missing? That's terrible. I'm afraid missing people don't get found in Diamond City. God seems to have turned a blind eye to them. And with all the fear of the Institute in people's hearts, they've turned a blind eye as well.
Are people really that scared of the Institute?
Well, they built the synths, and instead of stepping back and solemnly pondering if machines could have souls, they went straight to replacing people with them. Folks are afraid of going to bed at night, wondering if the Institute is going to switch them with a double, or if the loved one they went to sleep next to is going to be different when they wake up.
Why replace people with synths? What are they?
Well, at first they were machines. The early models still roam the Commonwealth. Sometimes they destroy a whole town and take what's left somewhere only God knows. But now, the Institute makes synths that have real hair, skin, and organs. They can make them look like anyone, and you can imagine what kind of power that could bring. Honestly, I don't recommend thinking about it. Nothing you can do about the Institute. No one knows where they are anyway.
I'm lost, Pastor. I need help. Please.
Well, I don't want to get your hopes up, but there is someone who might be able to help. Nick Valentine. He's a detective. Saved a lot of lives over the years, but so many more stay missing. And trouble has a habit of sticking to him.
Thanks. I'll go talk to him.
Take care of yourself now.
Piper, you're back.
Hey, kiddo. How are the paper sales?
Well, the presses are getting overloaded. That motor is going to go soon if we don't replace it.
You've been saying that for weeks and the old girl still keeps cranking. Stop worrying so much. I gotta head into the office. You start whistling if you see any angry politicians coming our way.
Why? Is something wrong? Piper? Everyone who's anyone reads public occurrences.
Piper Wright. Noodles. We all eat them, we all love them, and Diamond City's power noodles have supplied the sustenance for the past 15 years. From the stilted mechanical cadence of Takahashi's programmed Japanese, to the fragrant steam that wafts off each bowl, to the sealing tang of each delicious mouthful, the ordering and eating of noodles is but one of the many shared human experiences. Or is it? I was struck by this very question as I sat at the counter of Power Noodles last Wednesday night, just after 5 p.m., enjoying a dinner I had so many times before. That's when I noticed our very own Mayor, McDonough, sidle up to a stool and engage in the very same ritual. Right hand extending, mouth opening, teeth chewing. Yes, eating noodles. The shared experience of almost every Diamond City resident. So it must have also seemed to the residents of Diamond City nearly 60 years ago on an uncharacteristically warm May evening in 2229, as they sat around this very same counter. But that was before the days of Takahashi and his noodles, when the bar served not noodles but ice-cold Nuka-Colas, frothy beers, and stiff shots of whiskey. The barman's name was Henry, and that night he facilitated the shared human experience of drinking, smoking, talking, and laughing. That is, until tragedy struck. There aren't many among us who are even old enough to remember that evening, although some of the city's ghoul residents certainly could have, had they not been forcibly removed thanks to Mayor McDonald's anti-ghoul decree of 2282. But there is one person among us who does remember distinctly the events of that evening. Respected matriarch Eustace Hawthorne, who recounted her story in a Public Occurrences exclusive interview. Oh, I was there all right, sitting right at the bar, sure as you're sitting in front of me now. 22 years old or so, and just looking to have a good time. I was safe behind the wall. We all were. So what was the harm? And let me tell you that Mr. Carter made it easy. He came into town earlier that day, said he was from out west. Somewhere. It didn't really matter. What did matter was his smile and his laugh and the way he'd make everyone feel at ease. That night at the bar, we all just sort of crowded around him. Everyone wanted to exchange a word or hear about the state of the Commonwealth. And Mr. Carter, he was all too happy to oblige. It was just so wonderful, until it wasn't. Eustace continued her account of that evening and the moment when things turned sinister, and the truth about Mr. Carter was revealed. We'd been drinking and carrying on, must have been 3 hours. Mr. Carter had 4 or 5 drinks in that time. He seemed a bit drunk, I guess, like the rest of us. Then something just sort of happened. He was smiling, but the smile sort of went from his face all in an instant. And then his cheeks started twitching, kind of funny. And I remember watching him clear as if it happened just yesterday. He reached inside his coat, took out a revolver, and then blam, he shot Henry, the barman, right in the head. Didn't hesitate, didn't show any emotion. Mr. Carter killed Henry as casually as if he were paying him for a drink, but his cheek never did stop twitching. Let me tell you, all hell broke loose after that. What Eustace is describing is, of course, the infamous event known as the Broken Mask, when the people of the Commonwealth learned for the first time that the Institute, the shadowy scientific organization responsible for the creation of combat androids, had actually succeeded in creating a model so advanced it could effortlessly infiltrate human society. Unbeknownst to the people of Diamond City, the Institute had somehow evolved their androids into true synthetic humans. Since. After he shot Henry, that Mr. Carter shot 3 or 4 other people too. Like I said, all hell broke loose. The guards came running, they opened fire, and Mr. Carter, he kept shooting, and throwing people around left and right. Finally, those guards put him down. Seemed like they had killed a man who had flipped his lid. gone crazy, and he lay there like a dead crazy man, sure enough. God, it was horrible. But then we saw the plastic and the metal. This was one of them early synths, you see, and we realized it wasn't a man at all. It was then all we knew. The Institute wasn't just out there. The Institute was everywhere now, among us. It was never determined precisely why the synth known as Mr. Carter went on his killing spree. Some suggested he had somehow been remotely controlled by the Institute, who wanted to test his combat effectiveness. Still others felt he had simply malfunctioned, a hypothesis supported by the twitching cheek, and was never meant to kill anyone. But at that time, the why hardly seemed important. What mattered was that the humans of the Commonwealth had been truly infiltrated by an organization whose intentions and motives were, and still are, a complete mystery. Using a model of synth even less advanced than the ones the Institute had in service today. Which brings us to noodles, specifically the noodles consumed by Mayor McDonald last Wednesday night, in the same spot that Mr. Carter the synth went haywire and mercilessly killed several people. After spending hours sharing an experience the people of Diamond City assumed was reserved for the members of the human race, they were wrong. Are we? Oh, wow. It's the same thing? Okay. Kids!
Oh, anyone is one of those things. It's that secretary of his. Her and her perfect hair.
The mayor's secretary. Come on, Ma. I cut her hair myself, and I know human hair.
That's just it, Johnny. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. If you nicked McDonough with your razor, he'd bleed. Don't mean nothing.
If you're looking for a haircut, the salon's open in the morning.
Well, hello there.
Mrs. Codman.
Well, hello there. Another one of the poor and stupid of Diamond City come begging for table scraps?
What?
The poor and stupid?
Oh, don't act like you don't know. There's two types of people in this town. The ones living in the stands and everyone beneath us. I know everyone in the stands, and that doesn't include you. Now, why don't you make yourself scarce?
Who are you, anyway?
Anne Codman, of the Codman family? Of the upper stands? If you haven't heard of us, that just shows how unimportant you are. Now, were you leaving or not?
Fine, I'll leave.
Good to see you know your place.
You know, I have a rifle. Wow.
Today's Halloween. Do we get treats? No. It's all tricks all day.